So, James, obviously I know what mental fitness is because we have our own little definitions of that, but imagine I'm a complete idiot, which isn't too hard. Um, how would we define mental fitness to someone that's like, why are these guys throwing this terminology around? What is it?
Simply put, steer your thoughts, navigate your feelings, make balanced choices.
Cool. So, expand a little bit more for me. So, I'm steering my thoughts. What does that mean?
Well, do you think your first thought is always your best thought?
Usually not, because it's usually rage.
That's exactly it. That's exactly what I'm trying to talk about, right? We all have developed ways of thinking, right? Because we are all unique. So if you can take time to understand how you think, why you think, you can then start to dissect how to think in different situations. But you've got to do that by putting the reps in. Like you're a personal trainer, in a previous life, CrossFit, box owner, whatever you want to call yourself. How do you get someone better at a movement?
Repetition.
That's
we
what I'm
we,
talking
we,
about,
we
right?
find them where they're at, and we build up from there. You don't just go, let's use deadlifting. We don't go in cold. We don't go, first time you've done it, let's go for a 1 rep max. We build on. In fact, my Olympic weightlifting coaches used to go, here's a plastic PVC pipe. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to touch a barbell until you move properly. And yeah, so
And that's the idea around it. Maybe a good analogy of it is to treat your brain like a muscle or a movement. But I don't think we spent a lot of time learning how to do that. We get taught things at school. Our parents teach us things, but we don't always get taught like to challenge those thoughts. Like you're off in your head, you're walking, you're driving your car, and you're just thinking. And if you let those thoughts just run wild, I always say that thoughts become stories, stories become mindsets. And that can work both ways. You can talk yourself into a bad situation, or you can talk yourself into the best version of yourself through high performance. But you've got to do the reps.
absolutely. So that's steering our thoughts, navigating our feelings then.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. I mean, we're all different, right? As I said before, depending on who you are as a person, emotions can be extremely powerful and overwhelming. The reason for that is, simply put, they're different parts of the brain. Our emotions have the ability to just essentially cloud our ability to think, particularly under pressure. You said about rage being your first thought. That's actually an emotion, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not a
Yep.
thought. And that's how powerful an emotion like rage or sadness or frustration is. It completely disrupts our ability to use our cognitive skills to think through a problem.
Excellent. Actions then, that probably doesn't take much definition, but
Well, there's a lot of talk about the pursuit of balance, right? Work-life balance, all that stuff. Maybe there's something to that in this. Thoughts plus feelings equal actions. If we can balance our thoughts, we can balance our emotions so they're working together and not against each other. The idea is we'll have consistent actions. That's the main goal of it, I would say, really. Thoughts plus feelings equals actions, but you have to do the work on both sides to get a balanced, consistent action. Will you always get the result you want? Absolutely not. You ever reflect back on something and thought, I did everything I could have done and I still didn't get what I wanted?
shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, but from there, you can learn from that, right? You can go back and you can start to go, okay, where do I need to tweak? Where do I need to change things? But if you don't go in with a plan every time, it's just like we're just moving through life, and it's like what will be, will be. And some people find that quite comforting, but for others, it can be quite overwhelming.
So it's fair to say, if we go with the shoulda, woulda, coulda for a second,
Yeah.
a lot of people think that we're this autonomous robot that just moves through and life happens to us.
Right.
But that's not what we mean. We're going to get stuff wrong. It's not going to work all the time.
Yeah.
But there's reflection in that as well, and going, that's what I'd want to do next time, and actually putting steps in place to action that. So next time we're in a similar situation, we take reasonable actions,
Yeah.
so we don't have to sit back and go, shouldn't have reacted that
Yeah.
way, shouldn't have got ragey, shouldn't have shouted.
Yeah. And that, look, what do I say it a lot, don't I? And your phrase that you use quite a lot is similar to this, but the way I say things, when your parents say the world doesn't revolve around you.
Yep.
And when you're a kid, that is an annoying thing to hear. It just feels like they're shutting you down. But I think there's a lot of truth in that. The world doesn't revolve around you, but you can navigate a path around the world.
Yes.
It's like you can either try and move an immovable object, which is going to be overwhelming and just impossible, or you can think, no, I'm going round. I'm going round, I'm going over, I'm going under, maybe a combination of all those things. You're malleable. A lot of things that go on around us aren't. So it's massively important that I think anyway that we approach this life with, I need to understand myself better. Once I understand myself better, I can adapt to what's challenging me. Then I can evolve. I can become the best version I can of myself. And why is that important? Because we're going to have to overcome challenges. No one gets out of this place unscathed, whatever that may be. You're going to get fucking knocked over. So it's like, right, if I've understood myself, I've adapted, I've evolved and got stronger, better, more resilient. When I do get knocked over, it's going to be less painful getting back up. And that's the goal. Not to be perfect, not to always win, but be ready.
So, life's a brick wall. we need to understand the challenges of that brick wall.
It can be, right? Do you see what I'm saying?
Understand it. We need to adapt. We're probably not James Bond that can run through it. We're going to have to.
No.
We have to figure a way to go round it, under it, or over it.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes it could be a good idea to run through the wall, but not all the time.
You're going to need some training to.
I think so.
To drive through that wall, which comes to our evolve.
How many people do you know that just exist?
Yeah.
They're surviving, they're not thriving. They get up and actually start asking them, why do you think that? Or how have you come to think that? And they just go, I don't know, I just do it.
It's just how it is.
And fair enough, some people are quite content with that, but I'm not. No. I'm constantly thinking about, where am I? Why am I? Who am I? It's quite narcissistic in some ways, but
it's a fine line.
Yes.
In terms of it's all the cliched sayings of you can't love someone till you love yourself and all that. It's to be selfish is to make you a better person, not to be narcissistic and just manage your own needs, but you have to feed yourself so that you're well fed enough that you can go hunt and bring food back for the family that can't maybe hunt as well. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's in the manosphere there. We'll steer clear of that, but
the manosphere.
But definitely not the manosphere. So mental fitness then.
Yes.
Steering thoughts, understanding your emotions, your feelings,
mm-hmm.
why things make you feel a certain way, and that, like an equation, thoughts times feelings equals actions.
Yeah.
So if we understand them, if we understand what the X and the Y is, we can produce the results that we want.
I think so.
Or certainly guide our actions to be measured enough that we get consistent results.
100%. And that is massively important, particularly under times of pressure. And another time maybe we'll talk about where I've had to balance both of those things where it really counted, because that's quite an interesting story actually. Anyway.
Cool. Thank you.
Cheers, bud.